We're live. It's nighttime. Let's talk. All right. We are here. I'm going to turn this. Actually, that's fine. Okay, just a little thing. But this light in the background, you can barely see it, but I've been meaning to turn it off, and now I see it, and I haven't turned it off. So I'm going to turn it off really quick. I mean, I guess as you can tell, there's been some updates here to the look of the stream. I have been kind of thinking about making sure that I'm spending enough time working on stuff related to nighttime talk and related to the podcast. Just making sure that, I don't know, I think I want it to be more cool than it has been. I mean, it has been super cool, but I want to have it be a little bit more polished, I guess is the right word. Polished in the sense of like having things like maybe what you see here with like a table of contents, things that I've kind of planned to talk through or things I've seen. Just gives it a little bit more flexibility, but also like structure, which, anyways, long story short, helps me kind of deliver something cool here, which is something I think is good. I think I'm trying to do that, right? So, anyways, adjust something else here on my screen. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, so yeah, it's been a little bit of a break. Took a little bit of a break for Christmas, for New Year's. I was traveling, went to California, saw my family. That was really cool. Got to spend time with them. I did not end up going to the ranch, CrossFit, the ranch out in Aromas, which is very close to where I grew up. So I was staying very close to the ranch. So I actually did end up messaging Dave Castro saying, "Hey, I might drop in. I'm going to drop in at some point," kind of thing. And he was like, "Yeah, just let me know beforehand." And yeah, told him. So, anyways, that'd be kind of cool to see that place, that spot. There's lots of cool CrossFit history there, I guess, right? Yeah, what else happened? I think there was record-breaking surf in Santa Cruz. There was the end of the Santa Cruz Wharf, which kind of got washed away. There's there were these huge waves that were kind of pummeling. There was this storm out in the sea, I think, and the end of the wharf. The wharf is about 100 and no, gosh, the wharf is almost like 3/4 of a mile long. I think it might be almost a mile, and the last section was under repair. There was a 150-foot section of it that was under repair. That part kind of broke and fell into the ocean. And so you can see the pictures of people. There were actually three guys. There were three guys who were standing on the end of the wharf when it fell, and they fell into the ground or into the ocean. One of the dudes swam literally from the end of the wharf about 3/4 of a mile back to the shore. They were like in a, excuse me, I have a cough. They were inspecting, they were engineers inspecting the kind of the stability, I think, of the end of the wharf when it collapsed. And anyways, so it collapsed, and then one dude swam. So imagine that's kind of some cool fitness there on that guy's part to be able to swim all the way back to the ocean or back to the shore. About I mean, and it was the surf was crazy. I mean, I think it was 20, 30 foot, 40-foot swells, something like that. I mean, these are big waves. So he's kind of contending with those. Anyways, the other two dudes were able to stay on the collapsed wharf. And so there's videos of them like floating up and down, like bobbing. And the dude's just kind of sitting, like standing there on the wharf that's like now in the water. It's basically a boat. It's kind of being falling apart. And then the last part of that meme was the fact that there was a bathroom at the end of the wharf there. That bathroom fell into the ocean. It did not disintegrate, did not break it into pieces, and instead it kind of floated down about, I don't know, a mile down the coast and landed somewhere on a beach nearby. And so it just was like this bathroom floating in the middle of the ocean. And eventually came to rest on shore. But anyways, that was something that happened when I was back in California. Kind of a fun, weird story thing that happened. But yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff. Anyways, okay, so what else is going on? Well, so again, one thing I want to start off with this Reddit read. Um, Reddit reads. This was an idea that a friend of mine gave about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Apparently some of the podcasts that she was listening to um, have this are basically just a Reddit's reads kind of type of podcast. Kind of read something from Reddit. I guess it's pretty straightforward, right? Something crazy from Reddit. In this case, I was looking around Reddit. I was like checking it out, and I found something that I think is interesting. That I think is worthy of sharing, even just for a little bit, because it's we'll see. All right. So, broke my hand WOD recommendations. Okay. So broke my hand. It's super upsetting as this is coming on the tail of some big PRs for me. 295 clean and jerk, 395. What is that? HBBS, hanging, back squat, something like a back squat. I want to say. Okay, whatever. I refuse to sit around depressed, and let all my training waste away. I'm looking for WOD recommendations that will slow my inevitable degradation during recovery. Keep in mind that I have no use of my left hand. Okay, full cast knuckles to elbow. Okay, help. This was 12 years ago, so I think that's kind of fun. 12 years ago, this person posted this, and I'm interested in it because I want to know if there was any mention of adaptive CrossFit stuff, and I haven't actually read through this yet. Um, and there's quite a bit because I mean, this is kind of like the typical challenge that we have in CrossFit with adaptive athletes. And the other reason I wanted to bring this up was because there's a coach back at the old gym I used to go to in Watsonville, CrossFit Watsonville. And one thing that he mentioned to me when I saw him recently was that he sent a video of my CrossFit stuff to someone who had injured their arm or wrist or something like that. Basically, this was a member that was going to cancel their membership because they're like, well, I can't use my arm. I can't use my arm. I'm can't do CrossFit anymore. And my friend, I mean the owner of the gym down there, CrossFit Watsonville, sent videos of me, sent videos of me doing stuff with one arm and was like, hey, you're injured. That's great, but you can still, stay fit and there's stuff that you can work on. And I think this is interesting. So um, I think that's one of those things about the value of the adaptive CrossFit world. I think there's a lot of encouragement that we can give people that are kind of in the midst of stuff. So anyways, okay, so let's do a quick search here. Adaptive. Nope, nothing. So let's just, I want to just browse here. Let's see. I guess I should rephrase the purpose of the post. I'm looking for creative ideas for metcons that I can do that don't require the use of my broke ass hand. Cool. Okay, this is just a bunch of movements that this person is suggesting. You know how to weight vest. Okay. There's a decent amount of exercises you can safely do with one arm. Yeah, I mean, this is basic. This is a good response. Basically, you can do a lot of these things. You can do strict press, push jerk, overhead squat, thrusters, cleans, all with one arm. Yeah. At least half of these are going to just make him super imbalanced on one arm. I mean, that's true. Oh, interesting. Here's a armless burpees. I have not seen before. This looks like a joke. Yeah, this is a joke. Yeah, you see where's the air guitar squats. I'm just curious if they do something crazy here with armless burpees. What does he do with his head? Okay, he just kinda worms. So he kinda just worms his way down, and then what is he down knees to chest, and then back, knees up. Yeah, okay. Okay, fun, I guess. I mean, and that's interesting. I've never actually seen that. Um, but you can do them. I guess that's actually not that bad of a stimulus for imitating a burpee, right? It's just slow, so you're just going to be doing less reps there probably. Actually broke my fifth metacarpal a few weeks ago during box jumps. Accidentally punched the box while swinging my arms. Very embarrassing. This is the next post. I'm already back to 100%. Never had a full cast. Did a lot of squatting, slam ball thrusters instead of wall balls, lunges, and sandbag on my back. Was able to do push-ups and dips using parallettes. Towards the end, I was even doing like some light lifting on a lifting strap. Um, cool. I mean, that's pretty solid. I think pretty in depth. I mean, I agree with all that. A girl in my gym recently fucked up her arm somehow. She does a lot of dumbbell snatches and one-armed kettlebell swings. I mean, cool. I'm in the same boat. So a lot of these things are like very specific towards movement. I wonder, like his question is more a little bit about also like full on WODs. Like what's the effect of the stimulus over the course of the time? Um, okay, useless post here. Okay. Anyway, actually, that's about it. All right, cool. So yeah, Reddit reads. I think um, I wouldn't say that this person got a ton of advice, a ton of helpful feedback necessarily, but yeah, I'm and actually that kind of brings me into this kind of next kind of thing here about the what's it called, New Year's resolutions, because I want to talk about those. I want to talk about what I'm thinking of doing New Year's. One thing I mean, obviously that you're seeing right now is the updated kind of graphics for nighttime talk. I want to spend a little bit more time kind of spending, working on this stuff. I want to make sure that it's more kind of entertaining and people more know about it. Just because I think, yeah, I just want to get the word out here about CrossFit, adaptive CrossFit, and all the stuff that I'm working on. So I mean, I guess that's kind of one. It's like a little bit. Shouldn't say a little bit. It's like one half of a resolution, because I think the other piece here for me is working on a vlog, I should say. I have launched a vlog on my YouTube channel here. I'm trying to challenge myself with something, which is I want to make sure that if I'm posting on this thing like regularly, because I was like dabbling a little bit more in regular, um, what's it called? In regular Instagram posts. I want to make sure that I'm doing something very sustainable with it. So, I mean, picked up my phone the other day or yesterday, and I like filmed myself for like 45 seconds, and I posted it. It was like the first installment of the vlog, and I said, you know what, this is a great challenge for myself. I need to make sure that if I'm going to be posting on this, especially if I'm posting every day, it needs to take me 5 minutes to create this video. I mean, I'm a busy guy. I have a lot going on with work and social engagements and lots of other stuff going on in my life, right? I don't want this to be taking more than like, what's it called? I don't want to be taking more than 5 minutes doing anything regarding the social media stuff right now. Um, so that's the challenge. I'm going to see how that goes. Today, I think I probably spend more like 10, 15 minutes doing the post that I made. And so again, and I was like a little bit undisciplined with it. Like I had a timer on. I literally set a timer. Said, okay, I sat down. And this is in addition to the time that I'm spending like doing the little filmings of it, right? So it's like, here's a little clip of what's going on. Um, that maybe takes a minute. That's not, I'm thinking like 5 minutes to put this thing together. I'm sitting down on my computer, boom, 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 goes all together. I think I got a decent amount of it done in 5 minutes. when the timer went off, but I kind of embellished some things and was like, hey, what about this little graphic, or what about that thing? Anyways, got it. We'll change that next time. So that's one New Year's resolution. And kind of want to make sure that I want to document the journey that I have from training, from a training perspective, a little bit better. I think training is something that's really important to me. I'm doing a lot of it. And I guess there's a little bit, I wouldn't say accountability to it, but there's a little bit of a personal uh, reflection component to it that I think is valuable, even if, 3 people watch it or something like that. That's fine. That's fine. Um, so be it, right? If that's the outcome. I think what I'm trying to get out of it more from a personal perspective is, uh, I guess, challenging myself to create something interesting in 5 minutes. Interesting quality content that kind of gives a raw insight to what it's like for me as an adaptive athlete getting out there, right? Um, Challenge it within the constraint of 5 minutes, and then also um, this component of kind of the vlog, the video record of what's happening in my CrossFit life. I guess that's a good memory. I think that'd be a good memory to have, right, at the end of the day. So, anyways, what's another resolution? Another resolution. I guess related to kind of this idea of posting online and kind of sharing CrossFit stuff with people online. I think uh, Fran was programmed in my gym the other day, and I was struggling because the weight is 95 pounds for Fran for RX, and I was thinking about how the way 95 pounds feels, just in regular wads for me, which is pretty heavy. Like 95 pounds is pretty heavy. I mean, I think about, doubling that 210 pounds. Um, wow, no, 190, 190. Oh my gosh. This is embarrassing. I don't remember 95 times 2. 190 pounds. So it's a little bit like, I guess it's a little bit like cleaning your do a thruster with 190. It's kind of like that's a heavy thruster. So, so I was thinking, okay, well, what is the RX weight here with wheel wad? Like this, there's got to be this kind of information out there standardized. And wheel wad does have standardized adaptive workouts, but they do them only for seated, and it's on the website. They do them only for seated athletes. So people with in a wheelchair, basically, right? So doesn't apply. Doesn't apply necessarily to me, right? So I just Googled it, and I found an old video from Logan Aldridge, who does Fran, and there's several of them him doing Fran. And I found that he scaled or adapted, I should say, he adapted Fran to 70 pounds, I think it was. Which was I think it's 65.95 is the RX load for men and women. So, the men's upper 1 point weight is right kind of in between there. So I think that was kind of an interesting and helpful. And then I did Fran RX at that weight, and I think it sucked with jumping pull-ups. Was it jumping pull-ups? Yeah, jumping pull-ups. And yeah, it kind of sucked. It was, I think, definitely hit that stimulus for what Fran is like. And it's just kind of a crazy sprint. And yeah, 75 pounds. I think it's what I landed on. And that was about right, I think. So anyways, where was I going with this? Okay, so New Year's resolutions. So with that in kind of experience in mind, I had this kind of insight, which was there's going to be other athletes out there behind me here, besides me, who are wondering, especially for benchmark workouts like the girls, what is the standard in terms of weight, movement standards, all that for someone in their particular division, right? So, okay, I'm an upper 1 point. Now I have a very clear idea of what this particular standardized workout, which is very well known, take Fran, for example, or Murph, or some hero wad, right? And we're going to kind of, it's out there. There's very publicized public what's it called? There's a very public, outward facing dimension to the girls, to the standards, and they're also good for kind of measuring your fitness. Like, how fit am I? Is this a PR for my friend? I must be in great shape right now. I'm in a good place with my fitness. So we care about standards. We want to know at the end of the day where we're at, how fit we are. I think that's an important thing. So as an adaptive athlete as well, it becomes even more squirrely because we don't know what the standard is, right? I mean, everyone's WOD in the gym day to day, depending on where you are. You might be adapting things differently. You might be trying to do ring rows instead of jumping pull-ups for Fran, and 40 pounds instead of 75 pounds because you figure, well, I should take 95 pounds and split it in two, right? Because I have one arm, right? But is that really the stimulus for Fran, given the adaptations that you have in your arm? Probably not, right? So it makes sense to do Fran at a heavier weight, somewhere in between that 95 and 65 for the men and women loads, right? So, anyways, but what is it, right? Is it 65? Is it 75? Is it 85? I don't know. It's a little unclear. So, long story short, another New Year's resolution I have is to record myself doing girls, make it very clear what division I am, make it very clear what I'm adapting, how I'm adapting the WOD and why. So think like that Adapt a WOD series, but a little bit more sustainable. And so instead of like once, like 2 or 3 times, multiple times a week, I'm going to be doing that, once a week. Hopefully once a week. That's the goal. I want to kind of post that video. I'm going to put it on a place in the YouTube and make sure that that's findable for people who are looking, maybe they're the 1 point division. I mean, they kind of have to be 1 point division. And they want some help to kind of figure out the WOD. Figure out how to scale one of these WODs that everyone does, right? Everyone does the girls. Everyone does Annie. Everyone does Fran. Everyone does Murph. And okay, time, get some standards clearly out there. I'm not going to be able to kind of post it on a website right now, right? Necessarily. But at least like just posting my workouts is something helps, I think. Like it did for me. Like Logan's post from years ago was very helpful to me. And then the last thing here for New Year's resolutions I have is I want to make sure that I'm using mobility. I'm going to make sure that I'm taking advantage of the pliability gift of 6 months. The 6 months gift I got from pliability for doing CrossFit games this year at the adaptive games, right? I got 6 months free, and I have very stiff, immobile ankles that need a lot of help. And so those ankles are going to get pliability every day before I go to workout. So, and very specifically, I think I wanted to make sure that I was adding in some mobility before the WOD as kind of like a part of the warm up, before the daily workout over at the gym. I think spending a little bit of time in the gym with the equipment, it's a little bit quieter. It's a little bit more extra time to socialize or hang out with people, but also more importantly, I get some time working on my ankles or whatever I need to kind of work on at the time. So those are my 3 big like CrossFit related New Year's resolutions. So just kind of get in the gym, 10, 15 minutes before, add like that component to my warm up. That's one. Number 2, those weekly girl standard videos where I kind of break down what I'm doing and why, and talking through that workout. And then 3, posting that vlog every day. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of updating, creating like a road to the games kind of thing with what's going on in the adaptive world as well. So and just kind of putting stuff out there. Who knows, right? Who knows? Okay, the last thing here I have is you meme so much to me. So one thing I enjoyed a lot over the break was just finding all the stupid memes that I found on Twitter. And I found a lot of stupid things on Twitter, and I think it's a lot of fun. And so I was sharing that with my brothers, and I was enjoying that a lot. So I thought I'd wrap up the episode maybe today, maybe tomorrow, next time. Right? Not tomorrow. Next time, maybe tomorrow. Maybe next time I will use I'll find a new meme. So we'll always have this kind of meme so much to me because you guys, you meme so much to me. And I'm so grateful that you are watching. If you're watching, I don't know. There was one person on here and then they dropped off. and then who knows where they are. Lastly, I do want to mention too that I am going to have a guest next week. His name is Aaron. Aaron is a person that reached out to me a while ago because he was in a motorcycle accident and lost. He was received a brachial plexus injury, like me, and he got injured. And he saw that I was doing CrossFit and saw me at the games, or saw my post about the games or something. I don't know. Someone shared something. Anyways, long story short, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, is there any way that we can talk? Any way that we can kind of share notes, talk about what's going on in life regarding injuries, regarding CrossFit?" Because he's also a level 2 coach, I believe. I believe he also owns a gym. He's also a coach at an affiliate. So in addition to, I think he has also a day job. So anyways, Aaron's a cool guy. I've gotten to know him over the last few months, and I invited him to be here on Nighttime Talk. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. He also kind of recently shared with me that he has returned to work. So something's up with the injury. He's regaining some functionality in his arm. And one thing that he and I had been discussing was whether he would fall into the 1 point category or the 2 point category regarding like CrossFit's adaptive divisions, right? So whether, where is he going to be? Where is he going to end up? So TBD, I want to hear about that. I think he might be 2 point. TBD, spoiler alert. He can do a lot with his arm compared to some of us. But anyways, okay, you mean so much to me. Let's see. Today, I have something to share, which is that literally everyone, Zendaya, Hollywood producers, and for some reason this is oh my gosh, I'm gonna draw a blank on this famous actor's name. uh uh, Ryan Gosling, right? Yeah, Ryan Gosling, of course. Duh. For some reason it's Ryan Gosling saying no thanks to Zendaya. I do feel this. I do feel like we get a lot of Zendaya. And she's attractive. I think she's beautiful. She's a talented actor, I'm sure. I mean, she seems. I thought she was perfect. I thought about this, and I was thinking about the times I've seen Zendaya and movies. I didn't see Challengers. Not interested in that movie. For whatever reason, doesn't seem interesting. Doesn't seem cool. Not chill. Not down. But I loved her in Dune. Dune was awesome. She was like perfect for that. She was cast perfectly for that. I mean, the vibe was very cool. It's like just the way her look. She's very vibey. She has like kind of a very ethereal energy to her, and so I get why she was in that cast for that movie. Um, but again, like we don't need to see. I don't know. She's a little bit of a typecast, right? She's kind of like a particular thing, and it's like literally everyone like I'm good on Zendaya, like I'm good, I'm good, good. So, anyways, cool. Well, with that, I will wish everyone a happy Friday and a happy weekend. Hope everyone has great plans, big things going here for the new year. Yeah, with that, we'll end here. Good night, good luck, Godspeed, and we'll see you guys soon.